You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
The boy is mine.
Are you ready?
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the studio beside the Built Ford Tough studio. Bennett Doyle's right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can.
Well, Daddy lost most everything on horses, whiskey, and wedding rings.
And I hope you enjoyed the home run derby last night. We did at my house. Cal Riley from the Seattle Mariners. He is your 2025 home run derby champion. Cool story with his father pitching to him, little brother catching behind him. But the event did seem flawed in a couple of different ways. We'll talk through all of it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, around 10:20, Evan Hayes is going to join me in studio. He covers the Grizzlies for BillStreetBears.com. Also has a podcast with Bluff City Media. Sharp young man, bright future. He's going to be in studio with me in the next segment. We'll talk all things Grizzlies with Evan Hayes in about 20 minutes. Finish chopping it up with him. We're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories among them. Staff changes are coming to Penny Hardaway's staff at the University of Memphis. Nola Smith reportedly on the way out. Kristen Kelly reportedly on the way in. Different roles, to be clear. Either way, the staff directory at the U of M going to have to get updated. I'll give you the details in about 40 minutes. All of the players' associations, like all of them, connected to major professional sports in this country, released a statement last night imploring Congress not to give the NCAA an antitrust exemption. Interesting development. I'll do my best to explain it to you a little later on in the show. LSU football coach Brian Kelly was asked yesterday about various ways coaches might try to skirt the new rules supposedly governing college athletics. His answer was LOL. I'll share it with you. We'll do that in just a bit. Nick Saban, is he possibly going to return to college football coaching? That's apparently a question folks are asking at SEC Media Days. We'll discuss that in the second hour. And another big stage tonight for the Indiana Fever. No baseball except for the All-Star game. So you're not dealing with regular season stuff. You probably know the NBA season is over. So if you want to watch a basketball game in a regular season event, WNBA is probably your best bet. And the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark, they're going to be on ESPN. We'll get you ready for that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carryout and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with Major League Baseball, for better or worse, because the MLB Home Run Derby, in advance of the 2025 All-Star Game, it was held last night inside Truist Park. It was down in Cobb County, Georgia, about 10 miles outside of downtown Atlanta. Did the whole thing last too long? Yeah, it probably lasted too long. I don't know if we need a home run derby to last as long as that home run derby lasted last night. I definitely got a little bored somewhere in the middle, but still, it was fun watching native Memphian Brent Rooker compete on a pretty big stage for him. O'Neal Cruz put on a show, was blasting balls outside of Truist Park. And then, as mentioned, Cal Riley won the whole thing with his father pitching to him and his little brother catching. That was like maybe the sweetest baseball family thing you've ever seen in the history of the sport. We enjoyed it at my house. All that said, I do think MLB has a problem connected to this event, and I'll tell you what that one is in just a minute. But broadly speaking, my house enjoyed the home run derby. Big Bet Bennett, did the home run derby get any attention inside your home? Just say no if the answer is no. You don't have to lie to us.
I mean, it was on. I tried to get my kids into it. They were not too into it.
They clocked out. Never even clocked in.
I clocked out a little bit too. Once Brent Rooker got eliminated, I was like, I don't care anymore. I'm sorry.
So it did start at my home like this, if I'm being completely honest. First, wife and middle guy out of town, so it's just me and little Lou hanging out at the house. We had us a big day, right? We left here yesterday. We went and got us some lunch, and then we went and played 9 holes of golf. That's about all you can do with an 8-year-old before both of you start wanting to kill each other. So we did about 9 holes of that. Then we went and we got ice cream, because what better way to finish off a round of golf than with a nice ice cream cone. And then we settled at the house, and we've been talking about the home run derby all day. And so when we settled in the house, hand to heart, here's what he said to me. Dad, what time does the home run derby come on? What time does it start? Are we going to watch it? I said, of course we're going to watch it. So we turned it on, and there was sincere anticipation of it. He was ready to go. And then James Wood got things started. He hit 16. He was the leadoff hitter in the home run derby. And then, number 2, Brent Rooker, your ECS graduate, Mississippi State alum. He comes up. Homers in 5 of his first 6 swings, got off to a nice start. He got 17. So here we go. Cal Riley, the eventual winner, also got 17 in the first round. And so as you might know if you paid attention, it came down to a tiebreaker between Cal Riley and Brent Rooker to advance to the final 4 of the event. And the tiebreaker happened to be, and I wouldn't have known this time yesterday, but it's just going to come down to the longest home run. And Cal Riley's was 470 feet, 0.61 inches. And Brent Rooker's longest home run was measured at 470 feet, 0.53 inches. So our dude, our local sensation, lost by the slimmest of margins. Cal Riley was asked about it afterward, and he said, quote, an inch off, and I'm not even in the final 4, which is amazing. So I guess I got lucky there. 1 extra biscuit. That's how you get the big dumper nickname. You eat biscuits, your ass gets big. Next thing you know, whole world's calling you Big Dumper.
Oh, that's why he's called Big Dumper?
His ass is big. Yeah, he's got a big butt. He's got junk in his trunk.
Good for him, man.
He has junk in his trunk.
Nice.
Cal Riley has junk in his trunk, and he has big nickname Big Dumper. And the reason is because, I don't know how else to say it, his ass is big.
You got a big dumper.
He's got a big ass, all right? And according to him, he thinks an extra biscuit at breakfast might have been the difference between he advancing to the Final 4 and Brent Rooker advancing to the Final 4. Also, can we acknowledge, by the way, that this stuff ain't perfect? Like, you really think we're measuring this thing to the inch out to 470 feet? I mean, maybe they can do it in golf, I guess. But, like, do we trust it? Because there's real stakes involved. Brent Rooker, like, he's making real money right now, like, relative to normal people. But, like, this ain't a guy who's been getting the $40 million contracts and the $50 million contracts. Like, he ain't got the Juan Soto contract. The winner of last night's home run derby does get $1 million. Like, $1 million matters to Brent Rooker. And he loses it, like, by that? Doesn't get to go to the Final 4, like, because of that?
Seems unfair.
I don't know how it sits with me. But whatever. Cal Riley advances. Then he beats O'Neal Cruz from the Pirates in the semifinals. Then he beats Junior Caminero from the Rays in the finals. And it really is genuinely a sweet scene. His father's pitching to him. His little brother is catching behind him. So that's just awesome stuff. We had fun watching it for the most part, although in the middle, it did seem to drag on a little bit because you start something at 7 o'clock, it don't need to go to 10 o'clock.
I thought my guy Byron was gonna get this thing done. That was my dark horse yesterday, if you remember correctly. Yeah. He was my dark horse, and
well,
he advanced. I mean, he got there, but wasn't he in the final 3?
He got to the final 4.
Final 4,
and then was eliminated in the semifinals. So listen, the right guy probably won. He was the favorite. He's been mashing all year. Congrats to Cal Riley. But here is the issue. Mm-hmm. Baseball is on my television, is on a television in my home every night. All right? Mm-hmm. I know that makes us an unusual home, but it's true. Baseball games are on in my home every night. Usually Mets games, but baseball is on every night. My kids are exposed to baseball. Last night, as we're watching the Home Run Derby, early on, while my 8-year-old is still engaged in it, because he lost interest. But while he was still engaged, they're flashing the cameras around the stadium. And he's like, oh, look, there's Francisco and Lindor. Is he in this? And I said, no, he's not in this. And then like a few minutes later, my little guy goes, look, there's Ellie De La Cruz. Oh, wow, is he in this? And I said, no, he's not in this. Then they show Shohei Ohtani. My little guy goes, there's Shohei. Is he in this? I said, no, he's not in this. And I swear to God, this is a quote. I typed it into my computer just so I would have it correct for this moment. Here is what my 8-year-old, who, let me tell you, leading up through the day was excited to watch this. He's a baseball player. He watches baseball. He enjoys this. This is your target audience. 8-year-old baseball players are your target audience. And you know what he said to me about midway through this thing? Quote from Little Lou. Bro, none of these players are any good. That was the impression he was left with watching the Home Run Derby. Where is Francisco Lindor? He's there, but he's not competing. Juan Soto, why isn't he here? Where's Pete Alonso? Ellie De La Cruz, I just saw him, but he can't get in here and swing the bat. I just seen Lindor. He can't get in here and swing the bat. There's Shohei, but he can't be in the Home Run Derby. He said, bro, none of these players are any good. Fast forward, I don't know, we're about 2/3 of the way through it. And he's now on the couch next to me, but he's decided he is more interested in the iPad than the Home Run Derby on the television right in front of him. And so this is an exchange we had. I said, Lou, that's really loud, bud, your iPad. I thought you wanted to watch the Home Run Derby with me. And you know what he said back? I swear to God, I typed it in the computer so I would have it. He said, I thought there were going to be good players in it. The truth is, he watches baseball every day. He's on his iPad watching baseball highlights every day. He knew Brent Rooker because I've told him about Brent Rooker. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't know Brent Rooker. He knew Matt Olson from the Braves. He recognized Matt Olson. And he knows Jazz Chisholm because Jazz Chisholm's cool. That's it. That's all he knew. He had never heard of Cal Riley until last night. And even though Cal Riley is having an incredible season, he is not a household name or even a familiar name to even young baseball fans outside of the greater Seattle area. I'm around 8-year-old baseball players every weekend. I have never heard one of them say the name Cal Riley, ever. So I went and just started looking this up this morning. When I was 8 years old, because what I'm about to tell you, this issue that the Home Run Derby has is very similar to the issue the slam dunk competition has. The issue being it doesn't resemble what it used to be because the quality of the player involved has decreased dramatically. When I was 8 years old, the year's 1985, and do you know who won the Home Run Derby that year? Dave Parker, future Hall of Famer Dave Parker. And do you know who won the slam dunk competition that year? Dominique Wilkins, future Hall of Famer Dominique Wilkins. That was the Home Run Derby champ and the slam dunk competition champ when I was 8 years old. I only bring up 8 years old because that's Lou's age. He's 8 years old right now. When I was 8 years old, The home run derby champ was a future Hall of Famer, Dave Parker, and the slam dunk competition winner was a future Hall of Famer, Dominique Wilkins. When my son was 8 years old, the home run derby champ is one-time All-Star Cal Raleigh, and
Who won the dunk contest?
Mac McClung for the third straight year.
That's right. That's right.
My 8-year-old slam dunk champion is someone who's appeared in 6 total NBA games in his life. He's appeared in 3 slam dunk competitions and 6 actual NBA games. Those are the champions of these events when my youngest son is 8 years old. They're not Dominique Wilkins, and they're not Dave Parker. So I just started going through the home run derby. In 85, I just told you it was future Hall of Famer Dave Parker. In 86, they had co-winners, Darryl Strawberry and Wally Joyner. These are recognizable names. 87, your home run derby champion, Andre Dawson, recognizable. 88, it was canceled because of rain. 89, Eric Davis and Ruben Sierra. 1990, Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg. 1991, Hall of Famer Cal Ripken. 1992, one-time single-season home run champ Mark McGwire. 1993, Juan Gonzalez. 1994, Hall of Famer King Griffey Jr. 1995, Hall of Famer Frank Thomas. 1996, all-time home run king Barry Bonds. 1997, Tino Martinez. Not quite to that level, but recognizable. Everybody knew him. 98, King Griffey Jr. 99, King Griffey Jr. 2000, Sammy Sosa. If you were alive and aware of baseball during any of those years, you knew all of those people. Fast forward to present day, your 2024 home run derby champ was 32-year-old Teoscar Hernandez. My kids do not know Teoscar Hernandez. 2025, your home run champion, 28-year-old, one-time All-Star Cal Raleigh. Again, you go to the dunk competition. In 85, I told you it was Dominique Wilkins. In 86, it was Spud Webb. The following 2 years, it was Michael Jordan back-to-back. In 1997, Kobe Bryant won it. In 2000, Vince Carter won it. My sons, for 3 straight years, if they've watched it at all, have watched Mike McClung win it 3 times in a row. He's appeared in 6 NBA games and 3 dunk competitions. And that's the real problem last night. It's not that you can't make the home run derby compelling, because it used to be. And it's not that you can't make the slam dunk competition in the NBA compelling, because it used to be. You just got to have people that people know in it. When my 8-year-old can recognize, you ready for this? Nobody cued him on this. It wasn't like I was sitting around doing 20 minutes in the living room about how it would be great if Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge were in this thing, and he just picked up on it. He watched this on his own, and his main takeaway from the home run derby was, I thought you said good players were going to be in this. I don't know these people. Why aren't the good players in this? Why aren't the stars participating? That was his main takeaway at 8 years old. Why aren't the stars competing in this thing? That's a real problem. Do you think it's a problem?
Heck yeah. I mean, it depends on how much do these leagues. I mean, this is a huge TV deal, right? I mean, this was the sporting event last night.
Yeah.
So if it's that important to your league, yeah, I would think it's a problem. Yeah.
And the problem is you can't make anybody do it. And unlike the slam dunk competition, there is some real evidence that swinging a bat like that over and over again can like wear you out and take a toll on you. Mm-hmm. There's some data that suggests people who compete in the home run competition, it takes a toll on them to various degrees. The slam dunk competition is just like you either want to do it or you don't. You either think you're too cool for it or you're not. But the home run derby is something where I think an Aaron Judge or a Shohei Ohtani can reasonably say, it doesn't benefit my team for me to do this. But still, just circle back. Once upon a time, King Griffey Jr. used to do it. And Barry Bonds used to do it. And Mark McGwire used to do it. And Frank Thomas used to do it. And not too long ago, Aaron Judge did do it. Mm-hmm. I heard Jess and CJ talking about this. And Jess said, they turned it on. They watched it. They wanted to see Brent Rooker. They watched the beginning. A little bit like Lou's experience. Watched the beginning, watched the end, got bored in the middle. Mm-hmm. Would you be bored in the middle if instead of Jazz Chisholm coming up, it was Shohei Ohtani?
I mean, dude, to be honest with you, like, I'm just thinking through this. If you just build that thing as Judge versus Ohtani, it's probably like the biggest sporting event of the month of July, right?
Right. So you wouldn't get bored if you just had different people there. It might all look the same. But if you sub out the people you've never heard of, or more specifically, the baseball players, my 8-year-old baseball player who watches baseball doesn't really know. If you remove them and just replace them with stars. Aaron Judge is in this. Shohei Ohtani's in this. Pete Alonso's in this. Vlad Jr.'s in this. Fernando Tatis is in this. Ellie De La Cruz is in this. Then you're not getting bored in the middle. You're not changing the channel because you don't want to miss Shohei, because you don't want to miss Aaron Judge, because you don't want to miss the stars. Last night, you had even people who consider themselves baseball fans watching baseball players step into the box and going, so who is this again? Who does he play for again? I bet you even people who identify as baseball fans, if I gave them the roster from last night's Home Run Derby and said, now, I don't even need you to name the players. Just tell me what team do they play for. I don't even need you to tell me anything about them other than what team do they play for. You wouldn't get half.
I don't think so, no.
You would get Matt Olson. You would get Jazz Chisholm because of the Yankees. You'd probably get Cal Raleigh because at this point he was the favorite going into
Brent Rooker because of the Memphis connection.
And outside of that, buddy,
yeah,
you're running into some problems. Like who plays for the Rays, who plays for the Pirates, you might get that confused. That's a real problem. I never wanted to be and do not want to be the old guy standing up saying, it ain't like it used to be. I'm not saying it ain't like it used to be. I'm showing you it's not like it used to be with like the actual names. I just ran you through the dunk competition, what it used to be. I ran you through the home run derby, what it used to be. And now my 8-year-old, who is a baseball fan and who actually is like your target audience, he watched that last night and got bored pretty quickly because for the most part, he didn't recognize the people who were in it, but recognize the people who were watching the people that were in it. And that was hard for him to grasp. If Shohei is sitting right there, why don't we watch him do this? If Lindor is sitting right there, why don't we watch him do this? If Ellie De La Cruz is sitting right there, why don't we watch him do this? He recognized more players on the field watching the home run competition than he recognized people actually in the home run competition. King Griffey Jr. was there. Camera hit King Griffey Jr. My kid goes, that's King Griffey Jr. He recognized King Griffey Jr. because he's a star. He lives in his iPad. But the people actually competing, less recognizable. Doesn't make it any less of a great story. I can't overemphasize how awesome it must be. Father, son, little brother having that moment. I love stuff like that. They'll have that forever. It may never get any better than that for a family baseball type of thing. Sweet story. I enjoyed it, but you got to figure out a way to get more star power back in that. Because what your young baseball players are doing when they watched that last night, they're not being blown away by Cal Raleigh as much as they're wondering, why aren't the best home run hitters in the world, the biggest stars in the world? This is a huge stage. Baseball's got it all to itself. Why aren't the biggest stars in the world competing in this thing? It's one thing if they're not even there and you don't see them, but they're all standing around. They're all watching the same thing you're watching, and I think that can get a little confusing for a little guy.
Yeah, I mean, of the top 5 home run hitters in Major League Baseball right now, only one of them participated last night.
Yeah. So I don't have a solution. I don't know what the solution is. I just know that it's a problem. It's up to them to figure out a solution. But that's a big stage. That Monday night before the All-Star game is a big stage for Major League Baseball. And they have a compelling product, but you got to have the right actors in the show. They've got a compelling show, but they don't have the right actors in the show. If you'll accept the analogy, you got a compelling product, you got a compelling television show, but you got to have the right actors playing the right roles. And last night they didn't. It was all like secondary actors for the most part playing the primary roles, and the audience picks up on that. The audience can recognize who's there and who's not there. And when the biggest names aren't there consistently, it starts to feel a little less important than it otherwise would feel. Evan Hayes, talking Grizzlies. He'll join me in studio next.
Have you talked to Norvell since the game?
Yeah, we're close friends, so it's not one of those. Like, I think it's a little bit.
How long before you said ha 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 ha?
You sent him a text and said, "You want the box score?" You sent him the box score. You want to see the picture of me in the locker room afterwards?
How close are you? Because it would have taken me literally 30 seconds.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies at home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today.
The First Ladies of FedEx Forum, the Grizz Girls, are known across the NBA for setting the standard for professional dance and entertainment, and they are looking for dancers to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. With the chance to gain professional dance experience, collaborate with national and local artists, and connect with the Memphis community, auditioning for the Grizz Girls is an opportunity you do not want to miss. Come show up and show out at open call auditions. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
These are the Jordan 1, the crystals. These are the shoe that retails for $1,000. Oh, extra crystals. So if your crystals fall off, if your crystals fall off, actually these are the black crystals because they have. So the shoe has black crystals on there as well too. So you get an extra package of black crystals.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're in the studio beside the Built Ford Tough studio because the Built Ford Tough studio is on the other side of the building. And on the other side of the building, they are doing construction, and it's supposed to be loud. But Bennett, I swear to God, I keep walking down there. I ain't heard a thing.
I haven't heard
It's so quiet down there. It's actually like quieter than usual.
Well,
and that might just be because Vernon's in Las Vegas. But either way, it's quieter than usual.
I kind of like it in here, though. It's nice. It feels different, yeah.
It feels a little too big for me.
Does it? You like our little space in there?
I just like a little space. I don't like being this far away from you, for being honest.
Do you not?
I don't feel comfortable being this far away from you, if I'm being completely honest.
We just got a couple more days. We'll be good.
A couple more days, we'll get back to normal. We'll get back to our comfort zone. Penny Hardaway's got some changes coming to the University of Memphis basketball staff. We'll get you updated on that in the next segment around 10:40. But right now, Evan Hayes covers the Grizzlies for BillStreetBears.com. Also got a podcast, Bluff City Media. He's a young man, local product, bright future. Been wanting to get him in studio for a while. He's here right now. How you doing on this, I guess it's Tuesday morning, Evan Hayes? Good to see you.
Yes, it is Tuesday, and I'm doing great, GP. I appreciate y'all for having me. Bennett, GP, appreciate y'all. How you doing, my guy?
Everything's good in my world. For people who might not be familiar with you, just explain to folks where you're from, what part of town you grew up in, where you went to high school. You've already graduated college. You're in a master's program now. Catch people up on who is Evan Hayes, because you're probably going to need to know this eventually.
Yeah. Well, my name is Evan Hayes. I am from Memphis, Tennessee, the most beautiful land in the world. I am 21 years old. I went to Middle College High School in the heart of Midtown. I know a lot of people don't know where Middle College is, but it's right next to the Liberty Bowl, right next to the Kroc Center. I grew up in Cordova. Most of my family's from Orange Mountain originally, but my family moved, me and my brother, at a very young age to Cordova. And yeah, man, so I've been doing this for a little minute. I currently go to Alabama A&M University. I'm getting my master's in sports communications because that's what I want to do. And I graduated from Middle College High School. I graduated from Milligan University for my undergraduate. Graduated a little early. Got a shout out at my mom.
Yeah, how'd you get so motivated?
Yeah.
Tell me how you get out of college in, 2.5 years?
Yes.
How you do that? I never even heard anybody try that.
Got to shout out my high school, Middle College High School. For everyone that wants to go to Middle College or interested in sending their kids to high school, Middle College is a special place. I was able to take college classes since my 10th grade year. If I got a high score in ACT, I got like a maybe 19 or 20 or something like that when I first took it. They allowed me to go over to Christian Brothers University and take classes over there. So ever since my 10th grade year, I've been taking classes. So I came in with, I think, 39 college credits, and I went that straight into my undergraduate, took 1 or 2 summer classes, and got my undergraduate degree in multimedia journalism this past December. And I went straight into my grad program in January of this year at the Alabama A&M University.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired, bro. I'm pretty tired, man. I'm pretty tired, but I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed to have the breath in my body and the ability to do what I want to do, because I understand it's a means to an end. I genuinely love doing what I'm doing, so I understand it will pay off.
So as I meant, obviously you tell that story. People can tell you're on a great path and headed to wonderful things. When I was your age and I had similar aspirations as you, I was, don't let me be misleading, I was not as focused as you. I was not as talented as you. I was not on the same path as you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
I took a bunch of these to get where I was at. But I did have in my mind what I wanted to do. It wasn't this, actually, because this didn't even exist. The world's changed a lot since changed a lot since I was in college. Yeah. But I did know that I wanted to cover sports, and I did know that I wanted to write stories.
Yeah.
People would ask me why. So let me flip that around and ask you, when did you know and why did you want to become what it is you're becoming, which is a sports media personality?
I'm going to tell a short story. I hope you have a time.
We got all the time in the world.
So I've always hang around older people, and specifically my brother and my dad. So, when you go to a barbershop, people have barbershop talking all the time, and I always love being in, just listening to those talks and love being in those talks. I had a little nickname in the barbershop. They called me Little Sports Center, because I was always talking with the guys and wouldn't sound like a 7, 8-year-old kid. So it's always been there. I've always played sports all my life. I've played basketball, ran track, played football. So I was always around sports. But it didn't really hit me until later in life. I'm going to take my hat off. I'm doing my best GP impression with my hat on. So I wonder if people see my braids too.
There you go.
But yeah, so actually into around my 10th, 11th grade year, I honestly didn't know what I wanted to do in college. I was kind of go to the medicine route or business and things of that nature. But shout out my mom, she was like, why not do journalism? You love sports, you know how to talk, you know how to write, so why not do journalism? I was like, why not? So during COVID, actually, I started like a very, very terrible podcast with my friend Darius from high school.
I think everybody did.
We had a very, very bad podcast. I think we called it the E&D Sports Podcast or something. So we was talking about the bubble and free agency and all that. And we maybe had like 20, 30 listeners. I was recording on my phone with headphones, things of that nature. But I loved it. Like, I genuinely enjoyed it. So I was like, I feel like I have a true feature in this, because everyone's told me that you won't work a day in your life if you love it. And this is something that I truly love. So I got to my undergraduate, I said, let me talk to sports information director. Let's start writing. Let's start being around the sports teams and start cutting my teeth and getting my feet wet like that. And it's just gone to Bluff City Media, the Beale Street Bears, and just it's been going since there. So it's been a lifelong thing, but it really didn't hit me until I got maybe like 16, 17 years old.
Well, you're doing well, man. You know how proud I am of you.
Thank you,
so I'm just thrilled to watch you doing everything you're doing. And I appreciate your time today. I appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk Grizzlies. So you cover the Grizzlies for BillStreetBears.com. Obviously, the biggest development of the offseason has been the movement of Desmond Bane, traded to Orlando, breaking up the core three. What did you make of the front office's decision to break up the core three of John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Desmond Bane?
I think initially I was shocked, just like everybody else. Like, funny story, I was actually in church when the news broke, and it was a very bad time to be looking at my phone. Just say that right now. We was praying. Well, then my phone just started blowing up. I never have my phone on during church, so for my phone to keep blowing, I was like, something had to be going on.
Hey, I'm not the one who's going to judge you. You'll be judged another day for that, but it won't be by me.
I was very confused. And Bane got traded. I was like, you're lying, bro. So I looked, I was like, wow. And I told my dad, it's a very terrible time, but Desmond Bane got traded. We started like freaking out in the pew. We was like, what's going on? So initially I was shocked. But when I really sat down and think about it and thought about it, it really resonated with me. I feel like as much as I love Desmond Bane, as much as I love this franchise, I feel like we hit a cap with him. Like, Desmond Bane, of course, fringe, all-star, 20-plus per game store, 50, 40, 90 fringe type of guy. But when you have guys like Jaren Jackson Jr. and John Morant and you haven't hit that next ceiling, something has to give. And, of course, Dez was making $30+ million. but something has to give to take this franchise to the next level. So I know everybody's talking about rebuilding. I see more as a retooling. So once I really sat down, I love KCP, a veteran guy that can be that 3-and-D guy, something that we haven't had for a very long time, bring some veteran leadership. So I am liking what the front office is doing. Of course, Dez will be missed. You know, we're going to need that production in other places, but when I really sit down and think about it, I'm with the trade. I think we need to do more, but I've enjoyed the trade, and I feel like that would elevate us to hopefully win the championship one day.
So they moved Desmond Bain. That brings back some assets that in part allows them to move up to the 11th pick in the 2025 NBA draft. That's where they select Cedric Coward. Your most recent piece at BillStreetBears.com focuses on the addition of Cedric Coward to this roster and what it could mean throughout the roster. Clearly, the front office has made a big bet on Cedric Coward. Not necessarily that he needs to be anything specific in his rookie season, but there is a bet that he's going to be a very important, perhaps top 3 player on this roster, let's just say inside of 2 or 3 years. Do you agree with the bet the front office has made on a Cedric Coward who not many, even basketball fans, were aware of, say, 6 months ago?
I would say I do. I fall in that category. I did not know a lot about Cedric Coward until like the pre-draft process started. I know he shot up the draft boards after he did very well in the combine and interviews and all things like that. But I am with the selection. I was a little nervous when, of course, he had the torn labrum and shoulder injury. That's why he's been out of summer league. But I have a lot of confidence in Cedric. Like, he has the intangibles of what we need. He's a 6'9" guy that can shoot the ball, play defense intangibles, can play make. He does everything that we need that can be that third piece that this guy can be for this team. So I'm with the bet. I genuinely think if we surround him with the right talent, he stays healthy, and we have a coach in Tomas Islo that galvanizes him, I feel like he can be that guy for this team. I know he's been feeding into the MJ comps. You know, I think he was wearing a shirt with our guy Mike Watt. I was like, okay, say man to pump the brakes a little bit. But I love the confidence with him. Like, he breaks down the game in a very simple manner, and that's what you love to see with guys coming out of college in that way. So I feel like he would be that guy if he is healthy, galvanized, and just have the right guys around him.
With young people, and I guess with all people, there's a fine line sometimes between confidence and arrogance.
For sure.
And there was this quote throughout the pre-draft process connected to Cedric Coward that sort of stuck with me. And it's the type of thing that if a different person said it, I think it plays a different way. The quote specifically was, I'm just going to keep working to try to maximize everything I believe I can be. And what I believe is that's a Hall of Famer. And I know for a fact, or at least I believe genuinely, if Shedeur Sanders would have said that same thing
all over the place
2 days before the NFL draft, it would have been all over the place and it would not have been received well.
No, it would not.
Coming from Cedric Coward, it doesn't come across as arrogance as much as it comes across as real confidence that is at the core of how he's become what he's become. And I guess what I'm saying in a long-winded way is that quote meant something to me, and it had a positive meaning. Does that quote resonate with you at all?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it goes back to his story. Like, I know he wasn't very highly touted out of high school. He played community college. Then he went to Wash U. Like, he's had a story where he's had to get out the mud. Like, he hasn't been the guy on everything he's been on. He said he was actually terrible in high school. That's why he didn't play. I think he said he didn't play basketball for years because he wasn't that good.
He quit AAU one summer.
He quit AAU. So being that he's been there, he's been from the bottom, now he's seen the fruits of his labor. I love that quote because that seems like I know the work I put in. I know how much I love this game. And I know what I can bring to this team if I'm healthy. So I love the quote. I have all the confidence in the world for Sid, and I think he'll be a great fit for this team.
Yeah, he seems to have. I don't know him, so everything I say is like just what I've talked to people who do know him, or just gathered from listening to him or reading things that he says. But he seems to have a good sense of self. Like, he's not the guy who tells you when I was in high school, I was awesome and nobody saw it. He understands that he's been a flawed player and he had to work and, as you say, get it out the mud. And I don't know, I've just been impressed by his demeanor. The way he carries himself is impressive to me. And so, like you, I'm a believer in this bet. We'll see where it goes, but it's a sensible bet. To me, he's now in Las Vegas, not expected to play, but he is with his teammates. He is out in Las Vegas. You'll probably see him on the broadcast tonight. Also in Las Vegas this weekend, Ja Morant showed up and spoke with the media, both on camera and off, and more or less said I feel like I need to be here as the leader of this franchise, of the face of this thing. I feel like I'm supposed to be here showing support in a visible way. That's another thing that I thought meant something. Did it mean something to you that Ja Morant took time to fly to Las Vegas, not necessarily to do the other things people do in Las Vegas, but just to be present as the face of a franchise?
Yeah, I think it meant a lot. As we all know, Ja Morant's a superstar. He's a very marketable player. I know he's finna go on his Chinese tour with Nike, correct? Yeah. So he didn't have to be in Summer League. So anytime you have guys, especially of that caliber, coming in, being that voice in the locker room, being on the bench, like I know Coach Isolo said he was in the locker room, coaching up the guys, encouragement and all that. Like, you love to see that from your franchise guy. So it meant a lot to me. I know a lot of people was harping on his attitude with the media and all that. And I don't really take that stance. Like, we all know Ja Morant's history with the media and his controversy. We're not going to get into that right now. But the national media hasn't done a good job of depicting Ja Morant in the best light. So as a human perspective,
I can understand how he's jaded a little bit. I get it.
I can understand. So the fact he was there, like he said, he's been in the lab. He looks like he's ready to go into next season. Like, it meant a lot for him to be there. And I feel like we're just fishing for stuff. If people say, well, he didn't seem like he wanted to be here, or he seemed like he had to, like, who wants to do media? Like, I know you were talking about on the show yesterday how LeBron, like, he didn't like he was just having a fit the whole time because he's upset about a lot of things. So the fact he was there, he was present, and the people internally say that he's having that positive impact, I feel like that's all that matters, because the outside noise is just fodder when it comes down to it.
Help me understand what Ja Morant means to young people in the city, because when the Desmond Bane trade goes down, you had national media. And by national media, that is typically going to be older people who look like me, with that don't have feet on the ground here. Yeah. And they're like, well, if you're going to do Desmond Bane, you might as well get rid of Ja Morant, might as well get rid of Jaren Jackson Jr. Yeah. And the point I made pretty quickly on social media was like, I hear you, like, detach from this place. That's a reasonable suggestion, but there's no appetite for that here, in part because I don't think people want to intentionally go through a rebuild. In part because I don't think people want to punt on the possibility of greatness with Ja and Jaren. And in part because I know Ja Morant still matters here in a way that is hard to measure. Is his career in as good of a place as it once was? Probably not. Has it been a bit of a roller coaster in recent years for a variety of injuries? Undeniably so. But he still matters here in a way that is hard to quantify, but perhaps easier for you because of your age. What does Ja Morant mean to young people in this area?
I think he means everything. Like, I'm not going to go as far as say he is the Grizzlies, because I don't want to say that a player is bigger than the team or bigger than the franchise. But Ja Morant has been that, I want to say beacon of hope. If there's anything I can say less than that, I wish I could say it, but I'm going to say beacon of hope for this team and this franchise, that we can have a superstar that can hopefully bring a championship to us one day. I was talking to Roser about this out here. When I grew up, I grew up on the core four, obviously, like, and that core four created Grizzlies fans. Unfortunately, now I don't think we have as many Grizzlies fans. We have a lot of Ja Morant fans, and I can leave it up to you and Ben or whoever to decide.
Well, that's interesting, because
thing.
that's not something I would have said, but you pick up on that.
Yeah, like, people aren't coming. When the core four was going, people were going to see the core four. They were going to see Mike, Zebo, Mark, when Jared Bayless was here, Courtney Lee. Like, we can go down the list. Like, Bino Udrih. Like, they love those guys. They connect with those guys. But, like, no disrespect to Tripp or Edie or Diggs when he was here. Like, they're not going to see them. And as a Grizzly fan, Parrish, of course, I'm gonna be there regardless, no matter who's in the white and blue. But being that guys my age, like, they're going to see Ja. They have Ja Morant shoes on. They're buying his merchandise. It doesn't seem like the overall 1 to 15 guys are connecting with people my age as much as they did when the core four was here growing up. So I think he means a lot, because he is that beacon for the city. Like, just a short story about Ja. I'm not gonna act like I know Ja or anything like that, but a few years ago during COVID, when I was still playing basketball, I was working out with this trainer named Scotty Mason. He's a well-known trainer in the city, yada yada yada. But he was at FACS, and I went to get to the gym a little early to work out, just to get some shots up, get loose and all that. I walk in the gym, I see a guy, dreadlocks, walk in, takes on the free throw line, boom, was on the guy. I was like, who is this guy? Then I got close. I'm like, oh, this is Ja Morant. So this is like 2021. So this is like third year Ja, right? He's still trying to find a place to work at, just any of us. And I just sat there and watched. I was like, wow, like, this guy is crazy in person, because I haven't seen him in person at that point yet. But in going through the drill, the ball comes to me, and I gave it a ball, but he said, "Hey, you want to jump in the rest of the drills?" And Ja Morant let this kid that he does not know jump in the drills with him, and I finished the workout with him. He said, "What's up?" He said, "What's up" to me. Keep doing your thing. He walked out of the gym and act like he was just any other guy. That is the person that at least I've experienced at Ja Morant is be people that my age love to see and that doesn't get showcased on a national level as much, but I feel like that's just a small story to see what he means to the city. You know, he's doing his 12-time AAU team, so young people love Ja, and just that little story, I feel like it summarizes what he means to people my age.
That's a wonderful story. I appreciate you sharing it. On this note, tell me what Tiger basketball means to people your age. When I was growing up, when I was 8 years old, it was the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I have an 8-year-old, and he knows Penny Hardaway, and I don't think he knows another player on the roster. You're, in your early 20s. Where's Tiger basketball Where's Tiger basketball in the year 2025 with people around your age? And did you grow up loving Tiger basketball, or is it a different experience for you?
That's a completely different question. I'm glad you answered that question. Tiger basketball, and I think it's kind of sad to say, has really fallen out the graces of the young people in my city. I grew up as a Tigers fan because my dad went to University of Memphis, so he grew up, me and my brother, going to Tigers games when Shaq Goodwin was here and Joe Jackson and all those guys, when Josh Patton was here. So I grew up a Tiger fan, but I can't say the same for everyone else that's my age, because we all know the Tigers historically, especially in my lifetime, hasn't met the expectations that this city has came for. Hasn't had a lot of NCAA appearances, have never been to the Sweet 16 in the last few years. So the success hasn't been there. But in contrast, the interest has gone down a little bit. And I feel like that's partially because the local talent hasn't been there. When Penny got here, that was when probably the hype of Tiger basketball was, at least people my age, at least those first 1 or 2 years. Of course, he had the first year when he had Jeremiah Martin and a lot of Toby Smith's guys. So, but that second year when he had Tyler Harris, Alex Lomax, Malcolm Dandridge, Memphis Madness that year, my guy. I don't know if you went. It was lit. It was packed. And it was guys that we've seen. I grew up going to Cordova High and watching Tyler Harris play. Same thing with ALO. I went to those games, so people my age looked up to those local guys. But now you don't see a lot of local guys putting on for the city. They're not playing for the Tigers anymore. So I honestly think that it's going down a lot because we don't have as much local talent that we've seen, that we've played against. I played against Tyler Harris, just in a little camp or something. But seen him. Guys like Cam Jones, much I love Cam Jones, he got drafted by the Indiana Pacers. That's the type of guy that we would have loved to see, someone that we grew up with, one of our peers playing for the Tigers. We just saw the CG3. He's back here. That's a great example of what Memphis guys should do. But I feel like it has dampened a lot because a lot of local guys aren't playing. Because, we know who Penny Hardaway is, but we didn't see Penny Hardaway play. So that glitz and glamour of who Penny is has dwindled a lot. Because, we buy his shoes, but we weren't allowed to see him be an all-NBA guy. So, in those it's a lot of different factors, but I feel like Tigers basketball is not in a great place when it comes to, the fan base of, 25 and under.
It's definitely different times. Wrapping up here with Evan Hayes from BillStreetBears.com. Last thing before I get you out of here. We more or less know what the roster is going to look like now with the Grizzlies. I know you can never assume anything about injuries, but for the sake of this conversation, let's assume it's just sort of a middle-of-the-road injury season. In other words, nothing devastating like a couple years ago, but also not perfect health like some franchises are close to achieving. Just middle-of-the-road, average health for this Memphis Grizzlies roster. What does success in Thomas Isolo's first full season look like to you, given the type of season I just described?
I'm going to give two answers on that. I'm going to give a tangible record or a tangible success answer, and I'm going to give a non-tangible answer. I always say a success with the talent we have on this team, at least when we have Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr., two all-star, two All-NBA caliber guys, is a Western Conference Finals berth. We haven't sniffed the Western Conference Finals since the 2013 season, and even in that season, we got swept. So, we have not won a game since the Core Four, since the 2012-2013 season. So that would be, in my thing, a demon success. When it comes to intangibly, I feel like just seeing growth. I want to see Ja Morant have an all-career year. I want to see Jaren Jackson Jr. have an all-career. I want to see Jalen Williams. I want to see these guys look like their best selves. We had a quote we was talking about the other day that he wants Gigi Jackson. He wants to maximize his potential. He doesn't look back in 20 years and say, I wasted that guy's potential. So if I see the growth in those guys, that would deem a success to me because I feel like that would be setting the foundation of what he will be 5-10 years down the line if he's still the coach of the Grizzlies. I don't want to still see Ja Morant sitting in the corner. I don't want to see Zach Edey shooting threes anymore. I don't want to see Gigi Jackson shooting step-back threes. Like, yeah, he has that in his bag, but that's not what we need him to do. I want to see growth. Like, I want to see Scottie Pippen Jr. cut his turnovers down. Like, I want to see the best versions of these guys. So if I see that, I feel like I believe in Tomas Islo more than I already do. I believe he's going to be a great coach. Let me just stamp that right there. I feel like he's going to be a very good coach in this league, coach of your candidate in the next three to 5 years. But if I see the growth in these players and how they move just as a collective, I think it'll be a great season for my guy.
That is Evan Hayes, BillStreetBears.com. Also podcast with Bluff City Media. He's on X at E11Hayes. That's at E11Hayes. Great stuff, brother. I appreciate you being here. Keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right path. You got great things in front of you.
Thank you, GP.
I appreciate your time this morning.
Again, shout out GP for giving me this opportunity. Shout out Bennett for allowing me to come here. Shout out everybody at Grind City Media. It's my second time being on the network. I was on my boy CJ and Mike Wallace's show in March. So if y'all want to have me back, hit my guys up. My podcast is called the No Bluffing Podcast on Bluff City Media. Every Monday, I also will be guest hosting the Anthony Sane Show on Bluff City Media this Friday at 2 p.m. So I'm everywhere. I'm writing. I'm doing things on the show. Y'all tap in with your boy.
He's everywhere. It's Evan Hayes, BillStreetBears.com. That's BillStreetBears.com. Terrific stuff, brother. Proud of you. We come back. Penny Hardaway got some changes coming to his staff. Nolan Smith reportedly on the way out. A new director of basketball operations reportedly on the way in. I'll walk you through all of it next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
What can the Memphis Grizzlies learn from the Thunder Pacers NBA Finals Series?
Your style of play is not something that you really have to change. Both of these teams love to play fast. Both of these teams love to play really aggressively on the defensive side of the ball.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Staff changes coming to the University of Memphis. Last night it was reported that Kristen Kelly, who is an associate AD at Southern Illinois, is going to move to the University of Memphis to become the director of basketball operations on Penny Hardaway's staff, making her the first woman to be on Penny Hardaway's bench staff since he replaced Tubby Smith back in 2018. So that's kind of a cool story,
Yeah,
huh?
for sure. And I heard good things about her too, so that's exciting.
Yeah, I don't know her, or at least I don't believe I know her. But the people I know who know her have a really high opinion of her. She is regarded as impressive, and the people I trust say that she's terrific. And so 2 thumbs up from me. Kristen Kelly coming back to the University of Memphis. And then the news this morning from John Rothstein, my colleague CBS Sports, reporting that Nolan Smith is in discussions to become the next head coach at Tennessee State. And so this is sort of an interesting development. Do you know even why the Tennessee State job is open? Because Penny Collins left Tennessee State to come join Tomas Isolo's staff with the Grizzlies.
Right.
So the Grizzlies hire the Tennessee State head coach to be an assistant coach, and Tennessee State goes and hires a University of Memphis assistant coach to be its new head coach. Nolan Smith, reportedly about to get the first Division I head coaching job of his career. So that's an interesting choice by Nolan because he's obviously got real name recognition. Like, he was on a national championship team at Duke. He was an assistant coach at Duke. Then he was assistant coach at the University of Louisville. Then assistant coach at the University of Memphis. Not always, and I'm not questioning anything. I'm just, if you look at the history of like Duke players who were assistant coaches at Duke, they usually, their first head coaching jobs they're better than the Tennessee State job. Like Steve Wojciechowski, his first head coaching job, Marquette. Chris Collins, Northwestern. John Shire, Duke. And so now Greg Paulus, he had to go mid-major, so it's not 100% across the board. But I guess if I were, I had somebody text me this morning and say, is Nolan Smith, like, would it be smarter to just remain a high-major assistant coach than it is to take what is, historically at least, a very difficult Tennessee State job? And my answer is, that sounds like a decision Nolan Smith needs to make, not me. And so he's decided, it appears, that he's going to be the next head coach at Tennessee State. And so we keep him in the state of Tennessee, and you hope it goes well there. So interesting staff moves connected to the University of Memphis. I don't think it's ideal to be losing Nolan Smith, in the middle of July, given he was considered a big hire when you did it. Like, I never try to have revisionist history about this. Like, if you're going to say when somebody is hired, it's a huge get, well, then when they leave, roughly a year later, it's got to be considered less than ideal. So this isn't ideal, but Penny Hardaway's coaching tree grows. He will now have a former assistant who's a Division I head coach, and Nolan Smith at Tennessee State. So I guess that's a cool thing. Either way, just movement within the Memphis basketball program, and you can read all about it. Commercial Pill, Daily Memphian. They've got it covered, word to word.
Number 2.
NCAA antitrust hopes took a big hit last night. You see this statement from the players' associations from basically every professional sports league in this country that matters. So the NFL Players Association, the NBA Players Association, Major League Baseball Players Association, NHL Players Association, MLS Players Association. They released a statement in conjunction with each other imploring Congress not to give the NCAA an antitrust exemption because they believe that the college athletes that this will impact are going to be future union members in some cases. And they think it is their responsibility on some level to stand up and say, a lot of these young men and young women are going to be our union members very soon. And we think you're trying to screw them. So, yeah, we're going to fight for them when they're ours. But you know what we've decided? We're going to fight for them right now, in advance of them even getting to us, because we think what you're doing is wrong, and by wrong, we mean illegal. Now, let me catch up and oversimplify this to make it easier to digest. You probably have heard college administrators, SEC commissioner, Big Ten commissioner, NCAA president Charlie Baker. They're constantly talking about we need Congress to help us. We need government assistance. And what they mean by that is that we need Congress to create an antitrust exemption that allows us to, more or less, I'm oversimplifying it, but create our own rules. In other words, they've been trying to create their own rules, and then people would take them to court and lose. And now states are creating their own rules that supersede the new NCAA or College Sports Commission rules. So right now, the College Sports Commission has rules in place. This all went into place July 1st.
Okay.
It's only July 15th, and we've already got problems. This wasn't hard to predict. But on July 1st, these new rules went into place, and the rules basically say, universities, you have $20.5 million to spend if you want, revenue sharing on student athletes, but you can't go a penny over that for your entire athletic department. And NIL deals, we are now in charge of approving any that are in excess of more than $600. And at least recent history, the past couple of weeks, what we're learning is that most of these deals are being denied. Now, states have created laws that basically say, we don't care about their rules because those are just rules, and these are our laws. And so we are telling them it is against the law to try to enforce your rules in our state. This is happening all over the country. And so what the NCAA and the SEC commissioner and the Big Ten commissioner keep saying is, we need a national law that will supersede the state laws so that we are all operating under one rule of law. And that's where we need Congress to come in, give us an antitrust exemption so that we can say these are the rules and we are exempt from your lawsuits. And I'm oversimplifying it, but you get the point. So they've been lobbying like crazy and millions of dollars, sending people to Washington, trying to get enough support on both sides of the aisle to create a national law that basically renders all of the state laws, that renders the NCAA CSC rules irrelevant. You following me here?
Yes. I mean, it does seem like that the NCAA has been calling on Congress to help them with this issue forever, right?
Because they know their rules do not stand up to law.
Yeah.
So they need to be exempt from the law. That's what they're asking for. So for the first time last night, and that's why this is significant, every players association connected to big sports leagues in this country said, we don't think it's right. We fight these things independently. And we're now looking at college athletics, and you can't tell us the money's not there because we just watched the money be there. Don't tell us they don't have the money to pay A.J. DeBanza, because yes, they do. They just did it, like $5, $6, $7 million at BYU. Don't tell me the money's not there. We know for a fact you have rich people trying to give these young people money to play basketball, to play football. In some cases at Texas Tech, to play softball.
Right.
We know the money's there. We know these people want to give it to these people. Who are you to tell them it's not allowed? That's illegal. So for years now, the NCAA has been trying to make it where that's not illegal. And the only way to do it, or at least the most obvious way to do it, is to get tax-exempt status. Or not tax-exempt status, rather, but get an antitrust exemption. That's the way you do it. Well, here's all these associations saying, if you give it to them, you're wrong, and you shouldn't. And by the way, do you know the only two entities in the entire country that have an antitrust exemption? There's two entities in the entire country. You know what they are? One of them is the railroad industry.
Okay.
They have an antitrust exemption. And the other one is Major League Baseball partially. And the NCAA / College Sports Commission is asking for that. More than baseball and the equivalent of only the railroads. It's a big ask. And to this point, they've just never gotten where they need to get. That's why we don't have this national law. But for the first time, these associations are stepping in and saying, you shouldn't do this, and we're telling you why. It's just real firepower on the other side of the argument, which if you thought it was unlikely this time yesterday to ever get a national law, Congress to agree on, and most people did, it is wildly more unlikely today because of this statement that was released last night. And so the end game is going to have to be the end game. It's going to be lawsuits and threats until we get to a point where you, like we've been saying for years, call these people what they are, employees. Make them employees of your university. Pay them as such, allow them to unionize, allow them to collectively bargain, and then you can agree on what the salary cap is. Right now, nobody agrees on it. All we've got now is the CSC has said this is what we believe it should be, and college football people say, okay, well, and college basketball people and college athletics administrators say, okay, we'll try to play by these rules. But the second somebody's multi-million-dollar deal is denied, you're going right back to court, and you're probably going to lose. So you're going to have to get to a point where you collectively bargain. And then everybody agrees. Do you know how the NBA salary cap is set? They collectively bargain, they agree on a number, and then that's what it is. Same thing in any other professional sport. But you have to collectively bargain and agree. Reach an agreement. Have a CBA. Now we're all operating under rules that we've established on both sides. For decades, the NCAA's tried to establish the rules and make you play by them. The way it has to be legally is we both have to come to the table. We have to not only make rules, but agree on them, sign everything, and now we're off doing business together. That's how you fix this thing. But they don't want to go there because that gives up some power. But this statement last night suggests they're going to have to go there, and probably sooner rather than later. It was a big development in college athletics last night, and not a good one for the NCAA, but I think a great one, terrific one for the college athletes.
Number 3.
Brian Kelly is among those at SEC Media Day, and he was asked yesterday, he of course is the LSU head football coach, about the new rules, the stuff we're talking about now, that have been put into place, and the ways that coaches might go about trying to skirt the rules. Because this is the history of college athletics. You put rules in place, you know what people do? Break them. Put rules in place. Oh, what's the rules now? These are the rules now. Okay, cool, we're going to break them. The only time we didn't really have cheating in college athletics, and I don't know why, because I still get tweets about this all the time. I don't know why this is hard for people to wrap their head around. Every time I say these new rules are just going to bring cheating back, some bozo will jump into my mentions and be like, cheating never went away. Yes, it did. When's the last time you heard about a coach getting in trouble for cheating?
Good point. I mean, I can't think of it.
Paying players didn't go away. We just said it was okay all of a sudden.
Right.
We just said, hey, if you wanna pay AJ DeBanza $5 million, you can pay AJ DeBanza $5 million to come to BYU. We don't care. We went through a multi-year period where there was no cheating because we just decided we were going to allow anything goes. If you want to hand somebody, if Penny Hardaway wanted to get with a collective and figure out a way to funnel $1 million to a 5-star transfer, he could do that, and we didn't even blink. Everything was fine. We know exactly why everybody's going everywhere. Well, now you put these rules into place. Now the cheating comes back. Somebody will say, well, the cheating's always been there. No, we stopped calling it cheating. It's like we have interstates, right? And the speed limit's 70. And so today, somebody's going to get clocked going 78, they're going to get a ticket. And they're going to get clocked going 74 and get a ticket, 88 and get a ticket. Well, how do you ever stop people from getting tickets on the interstate? Well, you're never going to get people to drive below 70. How do you do it? How about we just say there is no speed limit? No speed limit. You can drive 90 if you want to. Drive 150. We don't care. There's no speed limit.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. I mean, up to a level, I guess. It could get wild, but I hear
Not
your
if you
point.
know how to drive.
Not if you know how to drive, Bennett. That's a good point.
I think you should be able to drive as fast as you want if you know how to drive.
Bennett, you know what? I'm not going to argue with you, okay? I'm not going to argue with you.
Putting that out there.
Bennett has put it out there. But that's what I mean. We just took the speed limit off the interstate in college athletics over the past few years. You used to drive 78 in college athletics, which means pay a player. You get in trouble for that if you got caught. Well, we just decided drive 78 if you want to. Drive 88. Drive 148. We don't care. There is no speed limit. Do whatever you want to do. That's what we've been doing. Now we put speed limits back up. Now we're going to start ticketing people again. Now we're going to start calling people cheaters again. So Brian Kelly, the LSU football coach, was asked about this yesterday. And he said, okay, now with these, it was presented to him, okay, with these new rules in place, how will coaches go about trying to skirt the rules? And here's what he said, quote, we've got to take a stand, we as coaches, that transparency, consistency, ethics, and morality are at the core of this. We have to be the stewards of the sport, the coaches. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I've heard so much dumb stuff in my life. The guys who are making $6, $7, $10 million, who have a history of cheating like crazy, particularly in the league that he's in. He was asked, so now that there are new rules in place, what is going to prevent coaches from breaking these rules? Because recent years we didn't have rules really, so we didn't really care who was doing anything. Just do whatever you want to do, build your team. Like Ohio State bragged about having the most expensive football roster in the history of college athletics last year, and they won a national championship with it. And it's celebrated. Nobody even blinks. But there are now rules in place where if you tried to build that exact same roster, you would probably be in violation of the rules. So here's a football coach asked, so what are we going to do about this? You guys, we used to have rules and you guys broke them all the time. Now we didn't have rules and you didn't like that, but at least nobody was getting caught breaking rules. Well, now we have rules again. What are we going to do now? And he was like, well, we as coaches have to understand it's our responsibility to keep everything between the lines and hold each other accountable. What? If you try, you ready for this? If you are an SEC football coach and you try to, quote, keep it between the lines.
You coming in last place, buddy.
You're going to get your brains beat in. You're going to get your brains beat in. Because ain't every one of them dudes going to be trying to, ain't every one of them dudes got a moral compass. Okay?
Correct.
I mean, we can run through the names if you want to. And I ain't throwing stones, but just, these people.
Yeah.
They ain't all got moral compasses.
Right.
And I'm not even saying that as a criticism. I've always tried to think about it this way. Let's say I'm making $10 million a year to coach football, which is something that happens. Okay? That's not some made up thing. There is somebody right now coaching college football making $10 million. All right? It's my job to make $10 million. I mean, it's my job to coach football and I'm making $10 million do it. All right? I'm running an SEC football program. I've had 2 bad years in a row, 2 below my school standard years in a row. I am on the hot seat. When you start asking Pete Thamel who's on the hot seat, they're saying Gary Parrish is on the hot seat. He's got 1 year left on his contract at $10 million. We live in a world where recruiting classes will get you contract extensions.
Yes.
Number 1 recruiting class in the country, man. We can't let that guy go. We fire this guy, we're going to lose the class, so we got to probably keep him. But even if that can't do it, certainly a successful season will. All right? So what if you told me, GP, there's rules in place, and people are breaking them. Most people don't get caught. To be clear, if you get caught, your name will be damaged and you'll lose your job. All right? Also, if you have another losing season, you will lose your job. But you can skirt the rules and enroll a class that is going to give you a team that's good enough to get a contract extension. And so rather than be fired in a few months and you're now without a contract, you're under contract for $0 going forward. You could have a good season next season while you're in the last year of your contract, make that $10 million, and then they'll give you a new 5-year, $60 million deal. It's literally somebody saying to you, if you do what I'm telling you to do, which is break these rules, here's the honest to God truth, hand to heart. You might get caught, but you probably won't. And as long as you don't, you are probably going to win enough to get a $60 million contract. But if you don't do this, everybody else, or at least some people in your league you're going to be projected to finish 12th in your conference. You're going to lose, and they might fire you midseason. You'll get your $10 million in this last year of your contract, but you'll never sniff the $60 million next contract that's coming. What would you do? What would you do? Be honest with yourself.
I would probably skirt the rules.
Most do. Most do. Not all. I never want to paint with a broad brush, but when you put most people in a situation like that, and you ready? It doesn't even have to be basketball coaches and football coaches. It can be people who work in any walk of life. There are rules in place. Other people in your profession are breaking them. You know it. You want to follow them at your core. Congratulations. But if you do, you're probably going to get fired. And if you don't, you can maybe get a $60 million contract. What do you want to do? Most people are going to skirt the rules. So when you hear coaches out there saying it's our responsibility to police each other, it will not happen. It will not happen because they don't.
Seems unlikely.
They don't police each other as much as they assume.
Yeah.
Everybody else is doing this, and that's how they look themselves in the mirror. I'm telling you, I've had the conversations with the coaches. I can't tell you how many basketball coaches have told me, GP, I never thought I would do it. Pay a player, pay a mom, pay an AAU coach. I never thought I would. But then you look up, man, and your fans are on your ass, telling you you're not working hard enough, playing too much golf, wondering why you can't get – why aren't you recruiting like this other guy is recruiting? Well, because the other guy's paying and I'm not. Well, you get tired of hearing that after a while. Then you're losing games. Now you're on the hot seat. I never thought I would do it, but if everybody else is doing it, am I really going to be the only idiot sitting here trying to play by the rules? This is the way they justify it, rationalize it, look themselves in the mirror and feel okay with it. So you can't police each other. You won't. You're not as interested in policing each other as you are in using each other to rationalize what it is you're going to go and do over here on the side. So it's just a big mess. It's just a big mess. And all of this stuff ties together. Because these stupid rules are put back in place, you're going to have coaches put into positions where they have to make really tough decisions about what to do and what not to do. It's so much better when everything is just legal or when there's rules that have been collectively bargained and are enforceable, where everybody knows if you do this, this is what happens to you. But we're not in that place right now. As of July 1st, we are back in a place where we spent most of our lives in college athletics. Rules that won't be followed, cheating that will happen all over the country, and some people will get caught and their careers will be ruined. Most people won't get caught and they'll be the ones that flourish. But the people trying to play by the rules, good luck, buddy. And Brian Kelly, if that's you, then your job will probably be open in December.
Number 4.
Speaking of, is Nick Saban coming back to coach college football?
What?
How is that's
what you talking about?
That's apparently the big topic of conversation at SC Media Days is Nick Saban coming back to coach college football. It starts with Greg McElroy, former Alabama quarterback, saying yesterday morning on his radio show, he said, listen, I would not even bring this up if I didn't think there was some truth to it. But people I respect, people like I believe in and trust, are telling me Coach Saban is going to come back and coach college football. And then Lane Kiffin is asked about it, the Ole Miss coach, former Nick Saban offensive coordinator, and obviously he's going to play into it.
Yeah, of course.
But he said, hey, it wouldn't, I could see it. I could see Nick Saban. I don't think, the quote was something along the lines of, I don't think he's done coaching. You think Nick Saban's done coaching?
If I would say yes. He's 73. But the fact that, Bill Belichick's about to coach at North Carolina, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Here's the thing. On a surface level, it makes no sense to me whatsoever. To me, you're in your 70s. You're the GOAT. You'd have nothing left to prove. Nobody is like, did Nick walk away too early? Or these are not things we've been talking about. You have an incredible TV job, beautiful home, beautiful wife, kids, grandkids. What do you need to do this again for? It makes no sense to me. But that cannot account for what is going on in Nick Saban's head. And you never can quite grasp, unless it's you, the desire to want to do that.
Yep.
If that is all you want to do. Rick Pitino, when he was banished from Division I basketball, had all the money in the world, had all the trophies in the world, did not need to coach again. He went to Greece. Then he went to Iona. Now he's back at St. John's in the big time. But I swear to God, if Rick Pitino was for some reason just banned from college basketball, he'd be in a gym somewhere, coaching somewhere, I remember having a conversation with him when he was out of the sport. And he said something along the lines to me, people assume I miss the games, walking in the packed arenas in the suits and looking sharp on TV. He said, you know what I miss? I swear to God, I miss the individual workouts. I miss being in the gym with just 3 dudes, me and 3 guys, and I'm working them out and getting them better. That's what I miss. Jim Calhoun went and coached like NAIA Division III. He won national championships at UConn. Then he's basically kicked out of Division I. And he's like, Larry Brown was coaching high school basketball and then came and sat on Penny Hardaway's bench. So it makes no sense to me that Nick Saban would want to coach again at this stage of his life, except what if it is the only thing he wants to do is coach football? I don't know. I do know this. Greg McElroy is a smart guy. He knows when he says that, what's going to happen. That's going to get aggregated and turned into a headline on every website in sports. So I don't think he says that just all willy-nilly. Like, I think he genuinely believes there's something to it. Whether there is or not, I don't know. But a guy who played quarterback for him once upon a time believes there's something to it. And the only explanation for there might be something to it would be it's just the only thing Nick Saban wants to do is coach football. He just does. Like, I might like to be 73 and sit on the porch with my wife and then go play golf and then go talk on TV for a little while and then hang out with my grandkids and then go play golf again and then sit down and watch a movie with my wife. That might be what I would like to do at 73, but I'm not Nick Saban. What if all he wants to do is coach football? He just can't. There's something in his life missing when he's not coaching football. Then that's why it would make sense.
I will say Auburn has the chance to do the funniest thing of all time. I mean, you talked about Hugh Freeze yesterday. They're already not happy with him.
You could not do that. I mean, Auburn could.
I'm just saying.
Auburn could. Nick Saban would not do that. You know what? I should take
You
that
don't
back.
think he'd do that?
I don't think you could. I think that is. I mean, that's like Rick Pitino going to Louisville times 50. Oh, it would be hilarious. I would be for it.
It would be hilarious.
The thing that people brought up yesterday was like, Brian Kelly, Mister, we got to police each other.
Yeah, and Nick was there.
He gets run out of LSU, and then you make a run at Nick Saban.
I mean, that's not the same thing as Auburn, Alabama.
It would be going back to where he was. That's more
That's
like
still a big rivalry, though.
Oh yeah, I was at LSU. I was at LSU for the game. Nick Saban's first game back as Alabama's coach at LSU in Baton Rouge. Night game, I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I covered that game for CBS Sports. And buddy, it was a scene.
Yeah.
They were really, they were, it didn't seem to matter to them that he left. He didn't leave you for Alabama. He left you for the Dolphins, and then he left the Dolphins for Alabama. It wasn't like he left you for Alabama.
That's right.
But just as soon as you tried to say that, somebody hit you in the head with a bourbon bottle. Buddy, they didn't want to hear it that night.
Yeah.
They didn't want to hear it that night. I would be totally for Nick Saban coaching at LSU or Auburn. It would be hilarious for me. But if I were betting, what do we think? Scale of 1 to 7. Nick Saban coaches college basketball, college football again. What do you think?
I'll put it at a 60%. Oh, scale. Did you say scale 1 to 7?
Yeah, it's always scale 1 to 7.
Scale 1 to 7. Sorry, I'll put it at a. So that'd be what, like a 4?
Mm-hmm.
I put it at a 4. And I would say maybe not in the SEC. I would think in Big Ten somewhere.
I think he probably
because he's been in the Big Ten before.
I think he certainly has. Michigan State. I
Yeah.
think he probably does not coach again. But if Greg McElroy said what he said yesterday publicly, I assume there's got to be something to it. It's got to be swirling in there somewhere, the possibility of it. I don't think you got to be smart enough as a former Alabama quarterback to go on radio and say you say that you are creating the story of the day in the state of Alabama. So I don't think you just say that off the cuff, right?
Right.
I think if you say that, you got to believe there's something really to it.
I mean, dude, and we know him and Belichick are tight too. Like that, I guarantee you, he's seeing what Belichick's about to go do this at North Carolina. And if Belichick has success at North Carolina this year, then I would put that percentage up even higher for Saban.
You just never know what you're gonna miss, man.
Right.
And I know people like this. They will tell you, yes, I have $150 million, a beautiful home on a lake, the best wife in the world, the most wonderful kids, great grandkids, access to the best golf course in the state. I got a boat. I got a fishing pole. Buddy, I got the life that people would kill for. But man, I just want to go to a football practice today.
Yeah, right,
I just want to go to a football practice today.
No, these guys are wired differently.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them can totally detach. Jay Wright can totally detach from it. Larry Brown never could.
Right.
Who is Nick Saban? I don't know. But if he is the type that just cannot detach from it and just misses it so badly, well, then he wouldn't be the first person like him. He wouldn't be the first person to fall under that umbrella.
Number 5.
Another big stage for the Indiana Fever tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPN. It's the Fever and the Sun, the Connecticut Sun. Remember when they used to whip the Fever all the time?
Man, and that revenge tour, it just never lets up now.
The Sun stink.
The Sun stink and the Fever remember.
The Fever remember.
Yeah.
The WNBA tried to make Caitlin play the Fever. Make Caitlin play the Sun last year. It's like every other game.
And they just beat her brains in.
Every other game.
Every damn game.
Every time I looked up, it was like, oh, the Fever are playing again tonight. Who are they playing? The Sun, and they lost by 11.
And she decided I will never lose to that team again the rest of my career.
Oh, now the Sun, they're 3-18. Fever are 11-10 rather. Caitlin Clark, this will be her fourth game back since injury, as we noted yesterday, has not been shooting the ball well. But if you don't love Major League Baseball's All-Star Game, there's really not a lot of options for you tonight in sports. And so if you turn on ESPN, and it'll be on in every bar in America, you're going to be able to see Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever against the Connecticut Sun. Fever, 16.5-point favorites. That's a big number. They're doing it at TD Garden, so they've moved it to the big building in Boston. 7 o'clock ESPN. I'm sure I'll have it on a screen. Be back with GP's Carryout.
There are futures for Aaron Judge possibly hitting 400. Hitting 400 at the All-Star break, plus 600.
Oh, wow.
To have a 400 batting average in the regular season, plus 3,800. To win the Triple Crown is only plus 145.
I don't think he's going to hit 400 for the season.
I don't either. I that would be
ridiculous.
Yes, ridiculous.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
You get to the main event, and you hear the crowd. There's some rumblings in the crowd.
Here we go.
They say, "We want truth."
I love how John Cena said when they were chanting, "We want truth." You can't handle the truth.
There you go.
I loved it.
He takes the knee off, boom. Takes the mask off, boom. And it's our freaking truth. God, man, he cost John Cena the match.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff, but in that middle segment, let's call it segment number 2, we mostly focused on your Memphis Grizzlies because Evan Hayes was in studio. Evan Hayes was terrific, wasn't he?
Yeah, man, that was fun.
That was fun. I was glad to have him in here. He's a young man I met a few years ago. I met him up here, actually, and we just sort of connected, and he just sort of struck me as impressive, really our first interaction. And so we've kept in touch over the past year or so, and I've sort of watched him progress in his career, get his bachelor's degree, now pursuing his master's. I just remember being that age and having a lot of questions and not many answers. And, to be clear, he's not somebody who's just trying to talk his way into sports media. Like, what do I need to do? Do I need to write? Then I'm going to write. I'm going to be a writer. He's doing everything you could try to do to carve out a place in this profession. And I remember being that age and not being nearly as focused or as impressive as him, but still having goals and dreams. and aspirations. And I remember the people who were helpful to me or supportive to me or kind. And I remember the people who weren't so much.
Yep.
And I'd rather be the former than the latter. So I've really enjoyed getting to know him over the past year or so. Been looking for a spot to bring him in. I thought this morning seemed like a good one, and it was a lot of fun chopping up all things Memphis Grizz with Evan Hayes. If you're not following him on X/Twitter, make sure you're doing that. E11 Hayes. That's at E11 Hayes.
What's today's biggest game?
Let's go Major League Baseball All-Star Game.
Okay.
It's tonight, 7 o'clock on Fox. It's the American League against the National League. I know this ain't for everybody. I'll turn it on. I just sort of like the idea that, you're going to see Paul Skeens pitch to Aaron Judge, in the first inning, presumably. Like, that's a big moment. One of the great young pitchers in the world against one of the greatest baseball players who have ever lived. We've talked about this before. This is something Major League Baseball's All-Star Game gives us that we don't get in, what used to be the Pro Bowl or even in the NBA All-Star Game. Like, yeah, you might get Anthony Edwards lined up against Jason Tatum, but they ain't really trying to kill each other too often. Tonight, when Aaron Judge steps into the box against Paul Skeens, he will be trying to hit a ball 500 feet.
Yep.
And Paul Skeens will be trying to throw one 101 miles per hour right past him. They will be doing their best to succeed in that moment. I like those little matchups. 7 o'clock on Fox, I'll be tuned in. American League, National League. I can give you the National League at minus 120, or you can take the American League at plus 100.
I will take the American League. I'm an American League guy. Shout out to my guy Ryan O'Hearn, Baltimore Orioles, American League starter tonight. So we will be going with the American League for the dub.
You're doing pretty well. You're up 4 units now, which is, I think, the most you've been up in years. You really got paid off. We didn't spend much time on this, but Friday night you had Katie Taylor at plus 150. That plus 150 took you to a good place.
Man.
Because the way I played that for you is 100 to win 150. Yep. That was a plus 1.5. On the that's a nice one for you.
I knew she had it in her too.
I didn't, Bennett. I
knew she had it in her.
I was less certain, but I was glad that worked out for you. Katie Taylor completes the 3-match sweep of Amanda Serrano. So tonight you're on the American League minus 100.
Who's our okay? So Skeens. I don't like that Skeens is on the mound first. Is he?
Yeah, Paul Skeens is starting for the National League. And,
I don't love that.
Tariq Skubal, Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah.
With the Tigers, is pitching for the American League, or at least starting. None of these guys go more than an inning.
I know.
So you're going to see Paul Skeens for the first, and then you'll never see him again.
Right. I feel like that we might have a chance for the National League to take an early lead, so we're probably going to have to do a comeback here, but I like the idea of a comeback.
Then it said American League, plus 100, 7 o'clock first pitch. We're doing it on Fox.
What are we watching on TV?
Bennett, can I interest you in The Friend?
What kind of friend?
A good one.
This is a good friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Right,
it's a movie. Bill Murray and Naomi Watts. Have you heard of it?
I love both of those people.
I do too. So we were just looking for something to watch over the weekend, and it was like, this has good reviews. And I love Bill Murray, and I love Naomi Watts. She was in that movie.
Mulholland Drive.
Well, there was another one that was filmed in Memphis with Sean Penn, 21 Grams.
Yeah. Yeah, they did film some of that in Memphis.
Yeah, like at the arcade and Ernestine and Hazel's. There's scenes there. I like that movie. So,
God, I forgot all about it.
So I like Bill Murray. I like Naomi Watts. So I was like, let's just order this and watch it. It was it checked all my boxes, right? Good reviews, recognizable actors that I like, and it was just like roughly 2 hours, not like 2:45. It fit everything I'm looking for.
Okay.
It was sweet.
It was.
Yeah.
And what's it on again?
We rented it on Apple TV.
Okay.
Like $5.99. We rented it for $5.99.
Fair enough.
On Apple TV.
We'll do that.
So the premise is this. Bill Murray's a writer. Naomi Watts is like his friend. And Bill Murray dies abruptly. I'll just leave it at that. Dies abruptly. This is all happens at the very beginning of the movie.
Okay.
And he leaves her his dog. It's a Great Dane. And she's not a dog person. Her building will not even allow her to have a dog. They live in New York City. And so it's just this woman grieving the loss of her best friend and wondering, like, why did he dump this dog on me? And now what am I supposed to do with this dog? And then it just, I know that's maybe not the best setup. It's based on a best-selling novel, but it's sweet. And if you love dogs, like I love dogs.
I love dogs a lot.
I love dogs. I will never, I didn't grow up with a dog in my home. I didn't get my first dog till I was in college. I will never not have a dog in my home. Dogs make your home a better place.
I completely agree with that, 100%.
And by the time we were done with this movie, my family was asking me if I wanted to buy a Great Dane.
I love Great Danes. The thing is, though, is they have heart issues, and I've heard that they die abruptly. I could be like completely off base on that, but I've heard that sometimes they tend to die abruptly, and I don't know if I could handle that.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
They don't live a long life.
Yeah.
They don't live as long as a different kind of dog.
Border Collie.
Yeah, but I don't ever want more than one dog at a time. One's enough. But my next dog could be a Great Dane. I could see that, but I like you. I wouldn't enjoy the loss.
Yeah.
I don't like the loss of it, but I love a dog, and if you love dogs, you'll love this dog. It's a sweet movie. It was a sweet movie. That was my main takeaway.
Okay.
That was really sweet. What a sweet movie. The Friend.
Speaking of TV, just because the chat's asking about it, we got to bring up.
The OTC came back last night.
He's back. He is back. Well, he had to come back because the Rollins injury is bad.
Do you think they called him in like, hey?
I think that they actually probably planned to bring him back and face Rollins in the ring. I think that was the plan probably.
But in the absence of Seth Rollins, you needed a pop.
Yeah.
The building exploded.
It did explode.
When that music started, the building exploded. The OTC was back.
I think you can kind of tell that they're like, we were gonna ease you into this Braun Breaker thing. Now he's going right to the top. Like Braun Breaker is the new villain. I feel like that's where we are right now. I'm good with it. Let's go.
It was good to see my GOAT, the OTC, Roman Reigns, returning to Raw last night. So between Big Dumper and the OTC, it was a hell of a Monday night.
Good stuff.
It was a hell of a Monday night around my house.
What's the best thing we've read?
Well, over at CBSSports.com, Julian McWilliams has written a piece on Cal Raleigh after he won the Home Run Derby last night. So if you want to more familiarize yourself with the Mariner star, you can find that on the homepage, CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Wednesday, we'll be looking back at Grizz Summer League. Grizz Warriors tonight.
Ooh, late one tonight.
9:30 tip, 9:15 pregame right here on the Grind City Media app. So make sure you're tuned in for that. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. Meet back tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.